was thinking about bridging, what happens when we have to bridge, say, truth and lies. There's these polar sides, right? Extremes, like here's the truth, here's the lie. But what's in between? Well, there's a whole bunch of unknown in between a truth and a lie. There's a whole bunch of undefined information. So there's got to be a bridge somewhere in there, because sometimes the information is not finished yet so that it can become a solid truth or solid lie. And so that's one of the bridges I was thinking of as we're all just sort of taking in a whole bunch of information. The other thing on a spectrum in my perception is this concept of freedom and limitation. So we got our complete freedom, nothing holding us back, and we can do anything we want at any time, no limitations. And then the other side of it's quarantine, prison, complete limitation. We don't have choices, right? So there's these extremes again, and in between is this energy of mystery. So what's between completely, like, you know, I think of it like with little kids, if they're totally out of control and free, sometimes that's fantastic and sometimes it's not actually. So what's that spot of mystery in between where we can embrace or bridge these concepts of polarity? Stopping and going. Our society is so dependent on going. Go, 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 do, do, do. And this opportunity to stop for all of us is going to be really hard for a lot of people, even us practiced ones. And so my thought about that bridge of energy polarizing between stop and go is flow. How can we flow and be in the flow? Sometimes, you know, if you think of the river in the end of summer, it's just slowly flowing because there's not a lot of new water in it. It's been dry. But in the spring, when all the snow melt's happening and then it's raining, it's just like a current, you know, and the flow is really fast. So if we can let ourselves not stop and become stagnant completely or be attached to having to go, 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 but can find that rhythm of the flow of energy instead of polarize. The other set of words that came to me are these concepts of what's normal and what's abnormal or irregular. And we've got really fixed ideas about normal and regular. This is what's normal and this is what's not normal. And so the bridge of energy in there between polarizing normal, not normal, one of the words that came to me is just possibility or allowing or having this energy of possibility between what we've defined as normal and what's not normal, instead of it getting polarized like that. I have two more of my my thoughts on this. One is about intimacy, relationships. Basically, I was thinking about what the impact is of this on relationships, whether it's people that we don't get to be close to and have to watch them go through their process at a distance and not get to be there for them, or it's the people that are in our space that normally aren't in our space and we're like, I can't stand you right now. So I'm thinking about this polarity of like intimacy and unavailability, right? So that's what I see of as a spectrum is in relationship. There's this unavailable and then there's the complete intimacy. And what's in between that, or what's the bridge for those energetic polarizations? The word that came to me is presence. Because even if we can't be there physically with someone and we need to, or we can't get away from them and we want to, how can we be present to what's happening in the moment in a relationship instead of being on this sort of spectrum of extremes? And then the final one is celebration, being happy, having something, you know, and disappointment. And there's a lot of disappointment happening right now. I mean, I got a long list of, oh, Burning Man might cancel, and Spirit Weavers ladies gathering that I was going to go to for the first time this year canceled, and my retreat's postponed, and all this disappointment energy. And then the other polarity of that is celebration, and what's in between there for me is trust, the bridge between that opportunity to celebrate something and the disappointment that it's not happening when I want it to happen, is trust the divine timing. So those are my little jotted notes this afternoon as I was contemplating how society had gotten to an extreme point of polarity, particularly in the US, and there's just more and more energy that's feeding polarity. Black, white, yes, no, right, wrong, truth, lie. And our spiritual job, in my opinion, is to bridge it, to find ways to understand and not attach to the polarity, because the polarity creates separation. And our goal is to be one within ourselves, to be united within our own spirit, and to be one on a soul level with the cosmic force of the universe. So